Hello, this is Ginny Brant with Unleash Your God-Given Healing with Lifestyle Changes. We're going to look today at 5 decisions you must make in the cancer journey. Your decision-making skills will be needed more than ever in the cancer journey. From the moment I was diagnosed, my husband prayed over me and asked God for healing and wisdom as we navigated this rough journey. It's important for you to be your own best advocate. To do that, we're going to look at 5 decisions you must make in the cancer journey that will help you to get a better prognosis. Number 1, where should I be treated? This is a very important decision. For some people, the closest cancer center might just be what you need. But for some, it may not be the best place. You want a cancer center that is convenient, but it must also be up to date on new procedures and treatments. Usually, it's the research cancer centers like MD Anderson, Duke University, Cleveland Clinic, the Mayo Clinic, and such as these that have the most clinical trials and are on the cutting edge. If you have a cancer with a low cure rate, such as pancreatic cancer, ovarian, myeloma, brain, or bile duct cancer, and there's a few others, you'll want to check out the top cancer centers in your particular cancer and be willing to travel. When first diagnosed with cancer, I did call MD Anderson's Breast Cancer Center to see what they had to offer for my particular cancer. Since they are the top cancer center in this world, it's a great place to check with. It turns out they had nothing new or advanced in my specific cancer and would offer the same treatments as my local cancer center. I then spoke with an intake worker at Cancer Treatment Centers of America, Debbie Kidd, and we've become close friends. When she told me about their integrative approach, it gave my husband and I hope that I would get a better outcome. That cancer center is now called City of Hope. I've always believed in integrative medicine, which means combining the best of holistic with conventional medicine. The integrative approach would provide me with counseling if needed, a nutritionist, a massage therapist, a naturopathic doctor, and an acupuncturist, and a few others as well. This approach turned out to be one of the best decisions we made. I got more than I ever anticipated, and I'm deeply grateful. Number 2, do I need a second opinion? Not everyone needs a second opinion. If you have a little cancerous mole on your hand and it's been removed and the margins have been cleared, you're probably just fine. If you have a common breast cancer that is caught early and it's going to be treated with radiation and a lumpectomy and estrogen-blocking medications, a second opinion is likely not needed. However, if you have a difficult to treat cancer where the cure rates are low, you need a second opinion from a research cancer center that specializes in your particular cancer and treats it based on the latest researched treatments. If your cancer is aggressive or has spread to your lymph system or other organs, you might want to get a second opinion. Now, if your oncologist tells you that they don't specialize in treating your type of cancer, thank them for their honesty, and they will usually help you to find the best place for a second opinion and for treatment. If you have one of these hard to cure cancers, you need to seek out clinical trials that offer new hope and new remedies. To give an example, 15 years ago, before my diagnosis, my type of cancer was not curable. About that same time, a woman had been told she was terminal by her oncologist. But when a clinical trial came open for her for Herceptin, her doctor called her back, who had told her to go home to die, and told her, "I think this is worth a try." That woman is still alive today because it turns out that clinical trial with Herceptin has a high cure rate for women with HER2 positive breast cancer, such as this woman and such as me. If you qualify for the trial, you will have to travel to these places for all treatments. However, keep in mind that getting a second opinion doesn't always mean that you have to be treated at that cancer center. I know plenty of cancer patients who go for a second opinion to Mayo, MD Anderson, and the likes, and they bring their orders back to their local cancer center to be carried out for treatments. My husband and I decided to get a second opinion because I was told I had an aggressive stage 4 cancer. And frankly, it just didn't make sense because I felt perfectly fine and I was proactive with cancer screenings and cancer prevention for many years. And getting that second opinion was one of the best decisions we made. And by the way, insurance pays for it, but usually doesn't pay for the travel expenses. Number 3, if I die, what preparations do I want in place? Many cancers don't warrant making these particular decisions, but mine did. I was told I was terminal, but with treatments, my life could be extended a few years. It simply made me feel better to get my affairs in order to make everything easier for the love of my life, my husband, should I pass. I cleaned out closets, organized our finances and taxes, and made exit plans. In the end, I did not die. In fact, I'm now 10 years out and thriving. Even though my actions were not needed in the end, it made me feel better knowing that things were in order should I pass. Things were in order for my husband and my loved ones. Many cancer patients feel better knowing they have things in order for their loved ones should they pass. Number 4, is this cancer my ticket to heaven? Now, Johnny Erickson Tata asked this question the first time she was diagnosed with cancer, and she's still here with us and ministering to others all over the world nearly 15 years later. But my mother also faced this decision when diagnosed with a stage 4 breast cancer at age 82. My sister and I encouraged her to do the surgery and the radiation, but she was not willing to do the chemotherapy at her age. And frankly, her doctor offered it, but didn't think it was the best idea because it was not worth the benefit, meaning the chemotherapy alone might kill her. So when you're told that your cancer is terminal and treatments are harsh and not likely to cure, it's okay to forego treatments and die a natural death. After my mother's surgery, the radiation side effects put my mother struggling between life and death. The doctor could do more surgery and more treatments, but my mother decided enough is enough. The benefits were not worth the risk, and she asked the doctors to allow her to die a natural death. She saw this time as her ticket to heaven, and she rejoiced, knowing that she would soon be with her Savior and my dad. If you've been told that you're terminal and the treatments will greatly diminish your quality of life and likely not work, you can take that ticket to heaven. You can also get a second opinion before making any further decisions. And if that second opinion gives you no better hope, remember that in heaven, your cancer will finally be cured. And go out blessing your loved ones and praising God for his eternal provisions. Amen. Number 5, what changes do I need to make? When diagnosed with cancer, your doctor may likely tell you some reasons why. My mother's doctor told her that her cancer was likely caused due to the estrogen hormones she had been taking for 50 years. She was told to immediately stop. And true, this is a risk factor for her cancer that she did not know. Part of the reason for your cancer might be genetics, but this generally only affects about 10% of people. Now, my doctors ordered extensive genetic testing, but the results showed nothing at all. My doctors also told me that I had none of the risk factors for my cancer either. Puzzling. This sent me on a quest to discover why I had an aggressive cancer I had no genetics or risk factors for. Surely there was something I needed to change. This information was telling me something needed to change, and I discovered through research many things I needed to change. So here are some questions you need to ask if you've been diagnosed with cancer. Questions that will help you to change. Number one, what in my diet needs to change? And research indicates much needs to be changed. Why, I ate better than the average American, but that's not saying much in a culture with a processed junk food diet. What about my exercise regimen? Needed to change. Number two, I usually walk 2 miles 4 days a week, but even that needed to improve, especially during chemotherapy, when exercise is key, absolutely key, proven in research to surviving it. Number three, what other tests should I ask my doctor to order? My oncologist recommended the vitamin D blood test, but I also asked for the celiac test, CRP and homocysteine levels, which measure inflammation, and toxic metals and toxic chemical profiles, which turned out to be valuable in discovering why I got cancer. Number four, what holistic treatments might benefit me and complement what my doctor is doing. Again, my cancer center had experts to do this for me. And in addition, I asked my cancer center to provide vitamin C infusions, and they obliged. I was their first patient to get these, and they helped me in so many ways. Number five, what can I do to help prevent my cancer from returning? Your doctor will continue to check your progress with scans and checkups after your treatments are over. But with estrogen-fed cancer patients, estrogen-blocking medications are given for at least 5 years, sometimes longer, to help prevent recurrence, and it works, improving your recurrence rate by 50%. But besides this, keeping your cancer from returning is largely up to you. You must realize this and also ask this last question: what can I do to rebuild my gut after chemotherapy, since chemotherapy destroys my gut lining? Even though I went on a quest to discover why I got cancer and what I could do to complement what my doctors were doing, my cancer center, as I mentioned, made this so much easier. Why? Because they provided many of these answers for me and provided that acupuncturist who helped keep my red blood cells from plummeting into oblivion. They provided a naturopathic doctor who gave me ideas and remedies for the side effects of chemotherapy, and they helped me to rebuild my gut. And a nutritionist who helped me to change my diet. I also, as I mentioned, asked for those vitamin C infusions to help me survive the chemotherapy. Don't be afraid to be your own best advocate and use good decision-making skills in the cancer journey. You need to ask questions, and you need to be willing to change your lifestyle. Research clearly shows that cancer patients who take the bull by the horns and become their own best advocate by making wise decisions and being willing to change do better than those keep on doing the same thing and don't ask questions. You've got everything to gain and nothing to lose. After finishing my surgeries and the harshest of chemotherapies and immunotherapies, my doctors were pleasantly surprised when my red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets were all back within normal ranges just 6 weeks after chemotherapy had ended. This usually takes years. My advocacy served me well and made a difference in my prognosis, and I would love the same thing for you. Lifestyle changes are key to surviving cancer and preventing recurrence. Your doctors can suggest, they can recommend, but it's up to you to follow through because your doctors can treat your cancer, but they can't change your lifestyle. I hope that this information has been helpful for you as you navigate the cancer journey. I hope that you will subscribe to my YouTube channel, like this video, share it, and click the notification bell so you will know when I post new information. Until next time, here's to using good decision-making skills and being your own best advocate in the cancer journey. And may God bless.